What's up, guys? Happy Thursday and welcome back to News for You with me, Tracy. On tonight's agenda, we are getting into the campaigns happening in Kampala. We're also going to be talking about student leaders taking a stand, as well as the Electoral Commission issuing the voter register and U.S. visa bonds. All of that and so much more coming up tonight. Stay tuned. As the presidential campaign enters its final stage, attention is shifting to Kampala and the surrounding metropolitan area, where several candidates are ending their nationwide tours. The city is becoming a major focus as the race tightens. Political analysts and veteran politicians say Kampala is more than just a source of votes. They describe it as a key center for media coverage, political organization, and national influence. They note that strong support in the capital can shape public opinion and set the tone for the final days ahead of the elections. We know what that means, guys. You know, there's most likely going to be a lot of traffic, a lot of blocked roads. So that means we need to be careful. We need to be maybe a bit earlier. We need to leave home a bit earlier than we usually would. We need to abide by the road rules and just try to be on the safe side before the elections get here. The head of the State House Investors Protection Unit, Colonel Edith Nakalema, has called on student leaders to promote peace as Uganda heads towards the January 15th general elections. Addressing representatives from 39 universities, Colonel Nakalema said the student leaders play an important role in guiding young people, encouraging calm, and preventing violence during the election period. She stressed that youth leaders can help to shape responsible behavior and promote a peaceful electoral process. Her remarks come as authorities continue to urge citizens to vote peacefully, respect the law, and maintain order before, during, and after the general elections. After much tussling and going back and forth, the Electoral Commission has finally released the National Voters Register. Now, this follows sustained complaints over a delay in its release and concerns about transparency in the electoral process. The move is intended to address growing pressure from political actors who had demanded timely access to the register ahead of the election. Now, NRM and NUP were the first political parties to receive hard copies of the register. Now, in response to the criticism, the Commission insisted that soft copies of the National Voters Register had already been given to parties earlier in the electoral process. Starting January 21st, 2026, Ugandans applying for U.S. visas for tourism, business, or family visits will be required to pay a refundable security deposit, commonly referred to as a visa bond, ranging between, get this, 18 and 54 million Ugandan shillings. Yeah. So the bond is intended to ensure compliance with U.S. immigration rules and is payable in addition to existing visa application fees. So if you're just going to visit your loved one there, on top of paying for the visa and your accommodation and all other travel logistics, you also have to pay between 18 and 54 million Ugandan shillings. Yeah. So now this measure affects applicants from 38 countries, not just Uganda, placing new financial demands on would-be travelers. In Uganda, the announcement has triggered unease among prospective travelers, businesses, and families who rely on short-term travel to the United States. Policy analysts and immigration experts have raised concerns about the wider diplomatic and economic implications of the move, warning that the high costs could limit people-to-people exchanges, hinder business opportunities, and strain relations with affected countries. Absolutely insane. Who has that kind of money to just pay a deposit just to enter America, on top of all the other things you have to pay for? Trump. It's time for the profile, and this one was very exciting because I got to sit down with the gentlemen from Bandalimana. We know them as like clowns on the internet, but this time they were serious with me. Take a look. What's up, guys? Welcome to the profile with me, Tracy. Now today I have some very special guests all the way from the UK. I'm hosting the gentlemen from none other than Bandalimana.
Hey Tracy.
It is so great to have you all here today.
Thank you so much for having us, man. Really appreciate it.
So how about we start with a round of introductions? Let us know who you are, what you do besides Bandalimana before we get into this.
So my name is Mulinda IV, aka Sukali. I'm a content creator. At night, by day, I work in finance.
finance?
Okay, so my name is Reagan. So professionally, I work in construction as a project manager.
You guys have very serious jobs. Wow.
Yeah, my name's Oscar. Professionally, I'm a teacher, and then doing this content thing as well on the side.
Wow.
Yeah, my name is Apollo, aka Tata Wamuchala. I do content creation, and I also work in digital marketing as well. So yeah, that's what I do.
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. All right, so before we get into the actual meat of this conversation, we're going to start with a little bit of an icebreaker.
Okay.
It's called Air It or Cut It. Being video content creators, so would you let this air on your show or would you cut it out during editing? Yeah?
Okay.
All right, so the first one is some people only start repping culture when it starts paying. Cut it. Why are we cutting it?
Because some of us have been repping the culture.
Period.
I'm the proudest Ugandan you ever meet. So, I mean, now it pays, thank God. But before, I was still coming here every opportunity I get, and
Yeah.
I love my country.
Yeah, Sukari, why did you want to cut it?
No, I just don't respect or rate anybody that uses their culture to basically monopolize and finance it. I feel like your culture should be a part of what your content is naturally because of who you are. You shouldn't just be using it to make money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So the next one, a big following with no impact is just noise. Air it or cut it?
Yeah, I'm cutting that.
Yeah?
Yeah, cut it. Yeah, I agree. Cut it. Because if you've got a big following, but you are not impactful on the things that actually matter to the people that are following you, then what's the purpose?
Yeah.
I'd say air it.
Air it, yeah.
Yeah, air it because you've got a foundation there. So at any moment you can turn that into impact. Yeah.
So it's the question of influence versus popularity. Are you just popular or are you actually making a difference?
My thing is this, I don't think everyone is put on this earth to make a difference. And that may sound crazy, but some people are just put on this earth to, and it depends on what you classify as make a difference. So it's like, if you're just there for vibes and whatnot, people may see that as, you're not really making a difference, you're just popular, but you're making someone's day at the end of the day.
I mean,
So
your
yeah,
lighthearted content could be what's
Exactly.
making things easier for someone.
you never know.
That's
And
a difference that you're making. So would you say the difference is then subjective, not objective?
but I feel it is very, yes. And I also feel like it's very hard for us to judge what is making a difference, like you said. Yeah, so Eric.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Aaron, I like that. Okay, so not everyone deserves a platform. Some people just got lucky. Air it or cut it.
I think Eric.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, that deserve word is very tricky because I feel like everybody deserves what you get. Whatever comes to you is what you deserve. Nobody in the world can tell you that you don't. So I'll air it.
Absolutely, because at the end of the day, you've worked for what you have. Yeah.
Exactly. No, I agree. Because I feel like there's a lot of people that get platforms because they're rich already or they're high in society, and then people that aren't in those positions end up hating on them. But then if you were in their position, you'd probably do the same thing anyway.
Literally.
So we can't hate on them. Yeah, everyone
Sure.
deserves what they get.
Absolutely. I love that. So, this one. Hey. Diaspora creators have it easier than creators back home.
Cut it. Cut it. Sorry, may I start?
Yeah. Go for it.
Everybody, no, let me not generalize. A lot of people think that we have it easy in the diaspora because yes, we've got access to equipment and maybe data and stuff. But I've been here, data is accessible. If anything, better weather, better scenery. It's hard out there. Like, do you know what I mean? Natural lighting. We actually work full-time jobs in the UK. We have to do the content thing on the side. Whereas here, I feel like there's more opportunity to actually follow your passions and actually do content. That's just my opinion. It's not easier.
This is gonna sound mad, but I feel like it's so much easier to go viral here.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to grow here than it is to grow back, well, in the UK. It's very hard to build a following there, whereas here I feel like people are really tapped into content here. Like you consume a lot here compared to back home. And I'm saying back home like this is not back home, but back in the UK, people don't want to support you.
Yeah.
They don't want to see you grow. Whereas here, like if they like you, that's it, they're locked in. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. I definitely get that. I think also the UK is a space where maybe the market for content is already saturated. There's so many people doing the same thing, whereas here the market is still a bit raw. So there's still ample opportunity for someone to get into that space. Incredible. All right, air it or cut it. If content creation was not paying, most people would quit tomorrow.
Air is like
you air it on your show. Or cut it means you'll edit out of the show. So if one of you said this on your show, you'd leave it in, or you'd cut it out. You'd leave it in, yeah.
Yeah,
it's the truth. I think a lot of people. This is not just of content in general. They don't have passions for what they do. Like they're very motivated by money, and all the greatest businessmen, although some of them may not be as ethical as we think, they all say their motivation isn't money. It's to fill a gap in the market. And for me, I feel like our content and what we do is genuinely filling a gap in the market. And these are my guys. I spend time with them anyway. I mean, the fact that it brings a little change, thanks. But if it didn't, I would still do it. 100%.
Just for the love of it.
And like this is stuff I can show my kids when I have them.
Absolutely, absolutely.
No, I agree. What I think I was trying to say is, a lot of people may assume that just because we're doing content, we're making a lot of money from it, but it's not the case. It's not the case. Yeah, we got jobs. Exactly, you got 9 to 5s. Obviously, I also have a podcast on the side, and that didn't start making money until 4 years in.
Yeah.
So imagine for 4 years, you're renting studio, editing, all of that, and you're doing it just because you're passionate. I feel like if you get into content to create money, you will not last.
Absolutely.
That's my opinion.
Absolutely. And I think that goes for any job.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't have the passion for what it is that you do, it's going to show inevitably.
Exactly.
And you won't be able to last in it.
You won't.
Incredible. So, before we get into the questions. Okay, I told you guys off camera, I don't speak Luganda.
Yeah.
So maybe you can teach me a little something.
Oh.
First of all, explain to me, what is it? The tata what?
Oh, okay.
Explain that to me.
So I'll give you the backstory first. So one of the games that we play on our podcast is the English to Luganda translation.
Yeah.
So the question was what? It was father-in-law. So the question was father. Translate father-in-law. So Tata Omuchala is what I said, but that is a direct translation. That's not the actual word. But that was like on our first video, and it just stuck with me.
Yeah.
So that's what everyone calls me now.
Okay.
I'll be honest, I still don't know what the actual translation is. I forgot it. Sezala. So that's what it is. Yeah. So Sezala is father-in-law.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So now I want each of you to give me a phrase in Luganda. Teach me something.
A phrase. What's a common
It could be about anything. Maybe about how this view is so beautiful. Anything.
To tell someone you look good, you could say Olabukabulunji.
Olabukabulunji.
Yeah.
Ooh, you said that
She said that better than me.
Well, my alias is Sukari.
What does that mean?
Sugar.
Oh, why? Where'd that come from? Oh, tell the story. There's a story here.
So, you know me, I'm a Casanova. I love the ladies.
Yes.
And I drink a lot of pineapple.
Oh, I know where this is going.
So the one lady said, Sukari, I know got.
What does that mean?
So like the sugar is sweet. Yes, so that's where my name came from.
Whoa.
PG.
Yeah. Wow, interesting.
You think of one. Obviously I'm the worst at Luganda. So I guess the only one I could give you, I don't know if you ever take taxis or whatever, but if you're ever in a taxi and you want them to stop, you say Masao.
Huh?
You say Masao.
What does that mean?
Like stop there.
Oh,
yeah.
Mas what?
No, I'm saying it wrong. But Masao, yeah.
Masao, stop there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, so let's get into this. So you guys said you basically started this, you were all friends, you were having a vibe, and one day you just decided to switch on the camera. So what I want to know from you guys is, a lot of people are pushed into traditional paths. A lot of our parents want us to be doctors or engineers and whatnot. So what made you guys just think one day, let me just switch on this camera and create content?
So for me, my dad always wanted me to be one of those buckets, lawyer, whatever, and all those things. But I've always been passionate for media. I've always loved content creating. So I had already started a podcast with 2 of my Nigerian friends. and that what started to do well. And then every now and then I'd weave in Ugandan culture, and then I realized there's something there, like there's something that's missing in the Ugandan content creation space. So I thought, let me holler at these guys. Obviously, I know them very well, and we get along well, and they're just talented, like individually, and then together we're like a powerhouse.
Yeah.
And then we thought, let's put Uganda on the map and show that we're not perfect in terms of knowing our culture, knowing our language, but we want to grow, and then people will grow with us. So yeah.
Absolutely. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. You have something to add?
Nah, I have to give this guy all the credit, because to be honest, he saw the vision years ago.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know the idea that never leaves the group chat. That's what this was. And like we would come to Uganda. This isn't our first time here. We come here often, every year at least once, sometimes even multiple times a year. And he would say, guys, we have something. And you just look at bro like, all right, man. He's like,
he was telling us when we're in Volt, like we're vibing, and bro saying we can make money together. We've got something. I'm like, bro, the Hennessy is hit. Relax.
100%. And then so then one day we said, let's do it. To be fair, we've actually attempted once before, and our hurdle was the name. So we're like, what's our name? And then we didn't do it for another 6 months. Then our group chat name was actually called Bandali Mana, and someone said, let's just go with that, because otherwise we weren't going to start. And yeah, now we're here. So I've got to give my bro here all the credit.
Amazing, amazing. Reagan, sorry, not Reagan, my bad. Apollo.
Yes.
Sorry. Question. So you work in digital marketing aside from this.
Yeah.
And obviously we know that we're moving towards a more we are in a digital era.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So why would you say it's important now more than ever for young people to really dive into digital skill learning?
I think get the skills first and foremost in terms of like the editing side of things, all of that, but more importantly, build your personal brand. There's so many opportunities that can come from building a personal brand, and you don't even have to have a huge following to be classified as a brand. So long as you have, like you said, there's a difference between influence and just being popular. If you are interested in something, you just focus on that. Say for example, Oscar's interested in scents. You don't have to have a huge following. If you create the right content, these brands will reach out to you. Now, like you said, obviously, in the UK, we probably have more opportunities right now because it's more understood, and brands are looking at smaller content creators, but that's where the whole world is going to go. So if you start now, you may look in Uganda now and think, there's not really the infrastructure, but it's coming. Yeah. And that's why even with us doing Bandali Mana, is literally solely focused on Uganda. So, and we're getting opportunities from it right now as well. So what's to say people who are actually on ground can't as well? Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So what digital skills specifically would you say a young person needs to know? Stepping into this area?
A lot of them have a lot of it already because they use social media.
Yes.
So using social media, like editing stuff, everyone uses CapCut, they use TikTok, whatever. It's so ingrained in the next generation right now. You guys have it, but I think they just see it as, I'm just posting, my pictures or videos of myself and whatnot. How can you go beyond that? Do you know what I'm saying? Everyone has the skills. I'm telling you, people know how to use TikTok Live. I'll go on TikTok and I'll see so many people in Uganda just using TikTok Live. All of these things, you think you're just having fun, but you're actually building skills that you can use to leverage later on.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I want to ask you, Oscar. So, coming back to Uganda is a bit of a shell shock. I mean, you're just here to visit, but I mean, growing up in diaspora, coming back home, there are a lot of negative, shall I say, perceptions around people who grow up overseas and come back home. So how would you say you're navigating that space when it comes to people talking about your accent, not understanding the language as well? What would you say to that?
I think I'm used to it because I've been coming back for a long while, and I also studied here for 1 year. So I guess my experience of the country is kind of different because I frequent often. But I'd say you learn to kind of almost build thick skin, but also kind of give grace to people and know that they're approaching you in the best way that they know how. So yeah, I'm at the point where I don't really take things like that too personally, and it's more with now what we do now is more showing people that we actually care, because I think there's also a stigma against us too, that we don't care about our culture, that we don't care about our language, that we come here and we just want to show off and do what and I feel like us coming and actually coming on ground and meeting people where they're at, and we're showing them that we want to be just like you guys. I think slowly by slowly the stigma is kind of fading away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Mr. Sukari.
Yes.
I want to ask you, very early in your journey, because you said you have another podcast as well. What are some of the mistakes that you made that you would advise maybe someone who wants to step into that space not to make?
Oh, that is such a good question, because we made a lot of mistakes. I think the first mistake I made was expecting everybody that was already in the space to just help me just because I knew them. Collaborations with bigger podcasts. I thought people would post me on their stories, share the pod, and then I realized someone told me, gave me some great advice. Your friends, your family are not your target market. When you're creating content, if you're going to rely on your friends and your family, you're almost going to be basically indebted to them, and you're going to be at their beck and call. If you really want to grow, you got to please everybody outside your circle, and that's how you're really going to actually improve, because other people will be honest with you. They'll give you the honest feedback, and I think that's one thing I would say in this game. Don't take it personal. If you reach out to Bandali Mana and you don't hear back, it doesn't mean that we saw the message, but just rely on your own growth, because we started from scratch.
Yeah.
Didn't collaborate with anybody, and then when people see you doing well, that is when they'll be like, okay, this person's serious, they're consistent, let's collaborate.
Proof of concept.
Yeah.
People want to see that you're able to put in the work
Yeah,
before they invest
exactly.
in you.
Don't just say, oh, because I know Ruben,
Yeah.
Apollo,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna reach out to Bandali Mana and see if I can get a collab. No, show that what you can actually bring to the table.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Another thing, sorry to add to that,
Yeah.
and not every collab is a good collab. For example, there's opportunities that we ourselves have turned down. Opportunities that will bring us money that would be like, oh my God, how can you guys turn that down? But it doesn't align with our brand and our vision and where we're going. And so not every opportunity is a good opportunity. I think it's very important in this content game. Just because there's accounts with millions of followers and we're like, nah, let's keep doing what we're doing. So
I think because I did content before, I used to do YouTube back in uni, and one of the biggest mistakes I made was focusing on creating content that would go viral, not content that was really me. And don't get me wrong, I went viral, I did well and whatnot, but the issue with that is I couldn't be consistent because it wasn't me. I think if you literally make content that is natural to you, it comes naturally to you, it's you'll be able to stay consistent. You won't get this creative block. A lot of people who are focused on just trying to go viral, they get creative block and then they give up. They can't be consistent. But now that what we're doing is we just go on camera and have fun. That's all we do. We're just being ourselves. So it's so easy to create content. So
Absolutely. And I think there's a major point to what you say, authenticity.
Yes.
Especially with apps like TikTok, which is more for content media than say social media.
Yes.
It's about, seeing someone for who they are.
Exactly, yeah.
And seeing them in their rawest form. That's the content that performs. As
Absolutely,
opposed to overly
yeah.
curated stuff with the people can
tell.
through.
They can tell.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Reagan, my question to you is, what advice would you give to a young person, in carving out their brand, understanding their niche? What advice would you give?
To be honest, similar to what Apollo said, understand what you want to do and focus on doing what you're good at and what you enjoy doing, because like he said, that's the only thing that you're going to be consistent with. And also, I don't think you really want people liking you for something that is not authentically you.
Yeah.
Because you just end up having to consistently keep that image up. So that's the main thing I would say. Just stay true to you.
Absolutely. Yeah, sure.
I know a lot of young people, where world economy, things are not as great as they used to be back in the day. People are, suffering, trying to make money, but try your best to not prioritize making money. Because I promise you, if you do great content and you do content that's authentic, it will come. I'll give you a true story. I remember one of our first deals that we were approached with. It was for $10,000.
Wow.
And it was to collaborate with a foot company. So this company sells pictures of women's feet.
Oh,
yeah.
Goodness me.
Yeah, crazy, right? And at the time I said $10,000. But I remember we sat as a group and we said, would we be proud of this 5 years later? Because that content will stay out there. And that's something I always say to myself is any collaboration, any episode, any piece of content, if I see this 5 years later, if my children in the future come and see this content, will I be proud of it? And obviously that one wouldn't have been made the cut. So sometimes it's not always about chasing the money. And I promise you, after we turned down that deal, a bigger deal came. Do you know what I mean? So it's not always about chasing every single check. You have to be prepared to say no and make sure you stay true to your morals and your authenticity. Because I promise you, one day someone will put a mirror to you.
Absolutely.
And they'll be like, oh, this you? Because even the bigger companies that we work with now, if they had seen me had done that,
they wouldn't have offered
they
you
wouldn't.
anything.
They would have said, no, we can't work with people that do such content.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
I think that's a very good point. You have to be careful about your brand image and be cognizant of the different offers that come to you and which ones you accept and which ones you don't.
Exactly.
Absolutely incredible. Thank you guys for sharing your pearls of wisdom. Everyone sees you on
worries.
TikTok and thinks you're just you're not serious, but you can have proper serious conversations.
Like we're serious
Thank you.
guys.
Yeah, I love to see it. It's also great to understand that it's not just content creation that you do, and you do so many other things outside of that. You're finance, construction, teaching, digital marketing. Absolutely amazing. Thank you all for being here. I've loved
Thanks for having
you on
us,
the show.
man.
Absolutely.
You're great at this, by the way.
Thank you.
Honestly.
Thank you so much.
Keep that in.
Yeah.
Back to you in studio, Tracy. And that's a wrap for tonight, guys. As always, please do leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you again tomorrow. Bye.